como pudimos, con las herramientas que tenemos, los que no sabemos, algunos deberán saber más, pero me parece que aceitar y tener una lista de herramientas de corrección a la mano y mejorarlas, creo que es algo que nuestro SIG podría también hacer. No sé, ustedes...
Algo que habíamos hablado con las chicas es time management apps, que bueno, dentro de eso la corrección simplificada, queremos decir, o diferentes estrategias con las tecnologías también estaría relacionado, ¿no? Porque
claro,
a mí me parece, llevó mucho tiempo organizarnos, ¿no? Y por ahí por el feedback que tuve de los estudiantes también, este año se pudieron organizar, bueno, pero llevó mucho tiempo eso, y por ahí time management apps o que nos faciliten, que nos reduzcan el tiempo invertido en cosas que por ahí no necesitan tanto tiempo y que se solucionarían de otra manera, ¿no? Pero bueno, todo para investigar, como decías vos.
Sí, totalmente.
yo propongo eso, assessment tools.
Assessment tools.
I think it's a good idea.
Mi compu está funcionando mal. ¿Cuál es el tema que están tratando, charlando así? Puedo hacer aportes si es necesario.
Brainstorming.
Primero quiero felicitar a todos. That's what I want to say. Congrats, because you were not here when I did. So congratulations, congratulations.
Yeah, especially to Ceci and Gladys. You rocked it.
What I said was it was a pity that I had to watch the recording because as I said, I couldn't enter the room. I don't know why. And on Facebook, the first part is not there. Yes. I don't know if something happened.
Yes, the streaming wouldn't start.
Yes, that was a problem. Yeah.
Okay.
We had a problem with the account who launched the session.
There
was a problem with the internet, and then the host was sent to change the people. We couldn't get hold of the host.
Yes.
That's why the first
it was really funny. It was really funny.
That was my bad. But then
I couldn't be in the rooms, but I saw the conclusion, let's say, and what I said before, I'm going to repeat now, the fact that you talked about Bloom's taxonomy, that you talked about pedagogy and not subjecting that to technology, but the other way about. I think that, I mean,
yes, it was brilliant.
Yeah, it was brilliant. I think it was great. I loved it. Congratulations. And
congratulations to all.
Congratulations.
It was a pleasure. It was, and Gabi Ariboto worked so hard, and Gladys on the game, on the deck. I didn't put my hands on the deck. I just made suggestions, and then we all worked on the pedagogical part. So it was really great. It was a fantastic experience to work with these two ladies. And we were rushing for time.
Of teamwork, because
I loved it.
There were lots of people involved. It was, I mean,
yes, in the backstage.
I was telling someone, I said, I think.
Nothing happened.
Really, there was a lot of work there. The video, the people who organized the rooms. I can't remember who was in charge of the streaming.
Amazing.
Doing different things.
Fabricio. It was amazing. I had never been in a conference that was so well organized in the backstage. Really, it was amazing. Amazing.
It was amazing.
The experience of, we were all sick and tired of online learning, this and that, and the computer and screen mediated everything. And really, this was such a good experience. It made you feel good about being there, about being supported by these all the coordinators and how they had organized everything, because for things to run so smoothly, there has been so much work behind.
That's why I was not able to lend you a helping hand to prepare the presentation. I was devoted to checking and everything, and well, you know, those of you who made presentations know, but the ones who were not there don't. We held prior encounters, trying things out, explaining the way the day was going to work, what time they had to connect, so that, and we wanted to make you feel comfortable, not nervous. That's why we use different accounts. By the way, thank you so much to all the people who lent freely their accounts to carry this event. Otherwise, it would have been possible. But the idea was not to, to avoid, or at least in my head, to avoid the fact that a presentation would run late and the other ones wouldn't be able to prepare everything because we're nervous. We want to check. So you had 15 minutes in advance to try everything out, to work things,
That was perfect.
to rearrange, to talk it over, etc., and to be ready and smiling when the audience joined. We didn't have to run and start testing with the audience. We even had videos showing while people were waiting. So all the executive committee was there, supporting everything, providing lots of wonderful ideas. It really was a unique event, I believe. I've never seen something like that. I mean, I've been to events like Cambridge ones where there is only one presentation, one after the other one, but with 2 sessions running, 2 concurrent sessions, it's never been done, at least to my knowledge.
No, it was
Yes,
great.
and the rehearsals.
And the rehearsals. And the fact that
Meeting with
Vivi
her,
couldn't.
Isabel was there too as well. Yes.
It helped a little bit. It was chaotic, but it was wonderful to see everything running smoothly. And well, no, Fabrizio's organization I learned a lot. I want to learn from you, Fabrizio.
I'm used to that. Running a school for 18 years,
Yes.
you know, you learn to organize things.
Yes. You're
I
the
can
most in the
imagine.
back. Yes.
I can imagine. Yeah.
I mean, it's not that difficult for me. Whenever I have this, it's like da, 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 and thinking of all possible problems and finding solutions. But thank God technology helps.
Yeah. Sorry.
I would like to tell you something.
The fact that we had a problem when we started, Vivi, is good, because that's perhaps the main message that the technology SIG can give to the world. No matter how well you prepare yourself, things can go wrong.
We can escape.
And then I mentioned that, and I think that it was a good thing, that because it's live and living in the flesh, what happens in technology, when in the technological world, to us, I mean,
it happened only to us.
And it was honestly, it was my fault, because because I when I made host, I was clicking on you, but then the names started shifting, moving up or down, and then when I did actually do the click, somebody else was there under my click, and the host went to somebody else. So really, it was my bad, not on purpose, but I didn't. I missed the mark. I mean, I missed Fabrizio, and somebody else was host, and just so that didn't appear in Vivi's in Facebook apparently. But I think it was good that something wrong went. Something went wrong.
It's Murphy's law. It's Murphy's law, girls.
Murphy's law.
Exactly.
But we have been to on-site conferences and meetings where things did not work
microphones.
Yes, the
people
same thing
late, so
yes.
so it's not a problem. I mean,
Same thing happens. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, what I wanted to tell you that there were some students of mine there, and one of them was Pablo, the one that Ceci made host. and after that, I mean, the week after that, we were preparing the farewell party for the profesorado. Yes, I work in the teacher training college, and they created a escape room to. Inspired on the SIG, they made that for their to farewell the students from 4th year. So
great.
I was so happy, and I wanted to tell you that, because you inspired them to do that.
It would be great if they can share that, so that we can.
Okay. Then I will. Yes, I think I have the link.
That's a key point, I think, sharing that, because people don't follow just the ones who are doing the things, but they follow the followers. So if they see what other people are doing, because of what we have done or what we have shared as a team, I think that will inspire more to join us, and that will become, the idea of using technology in a with a pedagogical backbone is going to be more pervasive, which is the idea of this thing. So sharing the things that people have done after coming to a presentation or something, I think is really, really good. Saying, well, I've attended the SIG, or I don't know. It's for marketing purposes, of course. I think it's going to be a good idea to share if other people have done things, they can share with us, and we can share. And I remember they always told me, if you want to do marketing, you have to lengthen the time of the event, because there is so much work before the event, so much work, and then it finishes in one day. So we have to in Spanish es prolongar la vida del evento. So this event that took so much time, effort, energy from all of us in the organization, in the marketing, from APIVA coordinators, for everybody. I mean, we say, okay, this is what happened. This is what people said. These are the comments. I mean, weeks later, the event can still be living, because people can still get inspired by what we did and sharing these things. This is what somebody did after coming to one of our events. I mean, and we can have weeks and weeks of to make the event last weeks and weeks later.
Good idea. Good idea. Lovely.
Weeks and weeks longer. Yes, it's really good. And it works a lot, because you don't have to think that you have to create. We are in a disposable society. Everything is, you use it and you throw it away. I say, no, if you take time to study a tool, use it many times, use it with many groups, use it in many situations with different levels. So, because you have to value the time that you spend on something. And I think that doing this with these events or anything we do, it's a way of avoiding having, an event every couple of months, which takes so much time. And it's just seeing the impact of the event, because really that's what we're after, no? The different reactions, the impact, what people are doing. It's just an idea.
Well, Lydia, take some notes.
Prolongar la vida del evento. Prolongar la vida del evento.
I wanted to say, since Lydia is here, a member of the committee, maybe we can ask her to take this up to the whole committee. I think it's a good idea.
Yes. Well, I'm taking down notes, because I do think that many times we attend a lot of meetings and we take down notes, but then implementing the things we have learned needs sitting down for much longer to try and see if the things work out, because now I have a list for the summer that will take all the summer to see whether I can do the things I have learned, because throughout the year you haven't got time. So I think that maybe also splitting the presentations into having two meetings, so that people have time to do some things, and then, not just one session, maybe two sessions with 1 week apart or 2 weeks apart, so that the conclusion of part 1 and part 2. And this can allow us to to start practicing, because I agree, it's all in one day, and then, well, if you don't go back to that stays there. Maybe you take some things, but you don't take, maybe of all the things we have done, I have applied 1 or 2, and I have a long list to sit down and see what I can do over the summer. So maybe it's a very good idea, prolonging and I think that the companies do that. The publishers do that. They have several meetings on the same topic. Maybe we have to find another format, another sort of presenting.
But I think that what Ceci suggested was just, I mean, not to have a different event, but just to go back to that event by saying something like, for instance, a quote, and a quote coming from that event with a link to that event. So that is a way to
yes,
something simple. Just promotion material, like for example, if after the event I always, after my talks, I always ask people 2 questions, only 2. What did you think about my talk about spiderweb? And I asked them if it was very interesting, just a little interesting, or not interesting at all. And then I asked them why. That's what I'm interested in. And I have collected so much information, and then a further comments. So that gives us tools. Look, if we ask them a simple survey after our events, we can get statistics, 10% of the people say it was fascinating or whatever. I mean, and we don't have to do anything. We just resort to the same event and we collect information, or comments people give at the end, maybe we can make a capture of the chat. Well, because at the end, normally they say, oh, thank you, it was so great, whatever. And so we can capture that and stick it and say, well, this is what people said after the such and such event. Or this is where people said, I don't know, I don't know, is that, or comments people made, or a phrase that can stick in, and then we say.
Actually, there were several messages or reposts on Facebook or Instagram that, as I was made kind of an administrator of the Apiva Facebook account because of the connections we had to make to go live. So I've been reading those comments. So just you can use those things.
Yes, capture them, share them, tell them. I mean, it's just spreading the word, and it's not you. It's what others are saying about you, and that is what people care about the most: the reference, no? All the referential information that they have, because they pay more attention to references than to the actual, perhaps, speaker saying my product, my service, what I say is great. It's what others
something
say
like
about.
This is what people said about our presentation. Have you seen it? And the link.
Yes, yeah, that. It doesn't entail more work. It's just collecting things and perhaps designing a strategy before our events to set up a Zoom survey. And then we ask them at the end to answer that survey across all 6. I don't know, just throwing
I'm thinking of, have you ever been, or have you ever used an escape room? Have you seen this? For instance.
Yeah, or it can be a customized survey for the event, for the talk, or maybe a general survey like, how did you find it interesting or fascinating, interesting, 10%, and we give real statistics, and maybe we share a couple of whys. Only that, but that same question, without having to think about a new questionnaire every time, not too specific. If we ask, how did you find it? We can use it for all talks. And a couple of comments, whys. I think that's a good, but of course it can be improved, but how did you find it and why? Simple, short and sweet. Simple is beautiful.
Good. Yes. Well, I'm going to propose this. It's really very interesting.
So I go back to my question. What were you talking about at the very beginning? Were you making like a kind of assessment of the whole year?
No, it was a kind of brainstorming, and we haven't started with assessment of the whole year, but Lydia mentioned the need of work exploring assessment tools, and I mentioned exploring also time management apps or tools that can help us as teachers avoid wasting so much time on things that may not be central to our teaching or to our, maybe we waste time, I don't know, finding out things, and we could have done it in half an hour when if we knew how to use the app, or if we had organized the timing, something like that. I don't know much about that. I just have a little book about time management, but probably I heard that there are a lot of apps that help you organize the time, or like time slots or something like that. So maybe it's an interesting thing that can help us organize ourselves.
I believe it was a year of exploring, of learning.
Yes.
That's why then after some months, then you could decide, well, this is the app or the site. For me, this is not. This site has these pros and these cons, etc. And I, just by listening to you all ladies, I was thinking about, I mean, we might be able to carry out kind of service or research as to which were the top 5 apps that helped English teachers in their
good idea.
That's a good idea, yeah.
So as to share, I mean, information that we might collect throughout APIVA's, what's the words? I can't recall the word socios in English. I'm too
members.
Members.
So simple. So simple. But it would be really very good research. I mean, and we might do something together with the teacher research Sig, that they know how to carry these things out. So it could be a collaborative project.
Good.
But it's just an idea.
Can I share something with everybody? This is like my first year that I am, in fact, a member of APIVA, and I think I joined the EdTech like at mid-year, so I'm sort of super new. And what I think was a great achievement from this group was the document you designed with all the apps. Because, for example, I had created a mind map for the school on my own, but when you share that, for me, that was great, because I started trying out every single thing that was listed there, and it was created by members from this group, and it was so accurate. And I started testing and seeing what worked, and it had the pros and cons. And I think that document, especially when all this emergency remote teaching, and we were like in the middle of the crisis and the chaos, I think that was like a great achievement. I don't know who had the idea, but I guess it was like a team thing. I think that was great. Yeah, so maybe from there, taking the top 5 after our experience online would be awesome. But that is like, I don't know. Congrats to the team who designed that, because it was great.
Well, we might have that in mind so as to produce the second booklet or something.
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely. Most 6, Kahoot was present.
Well,
Mentimeter.
I was at
yes.
In a teachers a meeting at teacher trainings college with other teachers who are methods teachers, and I was kind of wordless because I said we should explore with the teacher trainees technologies they could use to teach remotely, because there was a kind of paralysis, because, well, if we cannot take them to schools, then actually there's no way to deal with this. And someone said, I'm not going to teach them how to use Kahoot because they all know that. And it's this idea that that's technology for the people who are not into this, like, oh, okay, well, if you do a Kahoot, it's all you can do. And I was also surprised. We had a meeting on Zoom with the school where there were some teachers who retired just at the beginning of this year or at the end of last year. And then someone mentioned Kahoot, one of the teachers who was working, and that was like the tool everyone working now knew. And those 4 teachers who had retired said, what? And they started asking, and to me, it's been something we've known for years, but it was like discovering, the borders. Now, Kahoot is the technology for every teacher, wherever they are teaching. And those who had just retired hadn't heard of it. And I think it was telling, to me at least, like we can spread. Someone said, ¿Cómo están las de inglés con live worksheets? And other teachers started exploring that. And I think this idea, what Belén was saying, like sharing what worked for us and then can work for others. And I also like that the fact that we stated the potential of each tool and the limitations, so that people in different contexts can do that. I think that was nice.
I was thinking what Shani said before. Now she's not in the meeting. She left, I think. But
the lights went out. Like the electricity
light went out.
I didn't check that. Okay, well, thank you. But perhaps a way of what Ceci was saying before, this question of prolonging the event could be, her presenting her students' work as a kind of, I don't know if it's feedback, but a way of
follow up.
Exactly, follow up. Thank you.
Okay. Another point that we were going to discuss was the webinars. Oh, Gaby's not here. To have a webinar in our SIG. Right, so when ideas? Hello?
When?
No,
Are you thinking of 2021 or what?
Yes, 2021. Always thinking about 2021.
Planning the agenda, let's say.
I think that what was mentioned before some of you entered the room was doing something for IATEFL. And I mentioned the fact that the business SIG had already done something with IATEFL, with the
Liliana, sorry, Vivi, Liliana is suggesting something. Is it in the chat box, Vivi? I still have to go over. That's the tip of advice, ladies. The language SIG has created an absolutely amazing, what do you call it?
A booklet
with lots of vocabulary on technology. Is it in the chat box, on the chat box? You go mute.
Oh, wonderful.
I learned, I lost obviously in the Kahoot they did. I was the last one, but it's amazing. It's really amazing. If you go to APIVA's webpage, to the organization of the event where all the links were posted, yes, go to the language slot, and there you will have a link to access the booklet.
We can share the link on the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, it's on the, it's online, because there are even links to phonology, how to pronounce things. So you shouldn't download it. It's there and it's amazing. So is it in the chat box, on the chat box, or what, Vivi? You remember?
It's in the chat box.
In the chat box.
So Lily,
and it's in the chat. Though Sergio Mobilia was there, and he said that he has heard on chat, but probably I haven't studied that, but probably it's on chat because there is no article there in American English. We have to go into that, but it's in the chat box, and you type it in there, type it in the chat box.
Well, Liliana has typed in the chat box another suggestion. So I think if we can
organizing Ayla? Liliana.
Sorry?
Liliana, who is organizing Ayla?
Do you know Ayla?
No.
And it's the International Association of Linguistics in the world, in Europe. I think it was created in France, if I'm not wrong, first. So I'm working for a group that work together, different universities, like the Open University. You can see that the link says Open University, that's from England. The WOC, that's the one I work, where I work. WOC is Universidad Oberta de Catalunya, Barcelona. And then I don't remember the others, because it's a group of experts in the world, yes, from Montreal also. I don't remember the university from France, from other places. So it was England, UK, Chile. I don't know if you could go to the World Call in Chile last 2018, was it? I could go. It was very expensive, but I could go. And I met a lot of people there, and I met the group. This is the group I work with, that I am asking you to complete the survey. And they were so happy with the American teachers, the Latin American teachers from Brazil, Argentina, it was me, and from Chile, the organizer of the work call that I met there. And they were so happy because the highest participation was from our south of the world. Let's say the rest of, no, not rest of the world, the South Pole. So they were so happy that many teachers participated. And what I have seen, it was in 2009 that I had this fellowship in the Open University, and I realized that we Argentinians are doing a lot that we are not there under the level of Europe or other countries, USA. So this has been happening. So we have to be present, we have to show, we have to share these links to be present and to show what we are doing here. And what you were saying, I was listening to you all, that's very important to continue. As Cecilia said, it's a marketing, but it's something important marketing. It is. So continue, I mean, doing the post seminar that you have done. I could work it so little with you. I have a lot of work. I'm really tired. I had many things together going around. We all have all these things. So I want to go back and see all the seminar again, but I have to do other things, and I'm sure you are in the same situation. Yeah. So this is I was offered this slot from Joseph. Joseph is my director in the WOC, Universidad Oberta Catalunya, and I offered them other things. We working together. I helped them with the Spanish version of the survey. The survey is in English, French, Portuguese, and I think one more, but I don't remember which one. Well, 3 or 4 languages. But it's very important to be present. I think that's what I think. And the work you have done, and I've been in this SIG for 2 years now. I think it's great. You have done a great job. So thank you to all of you. We all learn every day a little. And as I think it was Gladys who mentioned Kahoot, who knows Kahoot? And maybe there are people who do not know Kahoot, and they are really having fun and they can do lots of things. I learned to use Genially, for example, and that was great. And one of the things that teachers have asked me about what they wanted to learn, because sometimes you get the feedback from different sources, and they said that they wanted to learn how to do the streaming with Facebook and Zoom. That's what I don't know if any of you heard or
I learned it after our experience. They told me it was a question of finding the button, and then I explored the options and I said, oh, it's here, look. And I clicked and there it was, but I learned it through our session.
Right.
The other day.
The other day, yes.
Yes.
Learning by doing, that's great. But sometimes
actually,
that they cannot do
by
it.
getting it done,
like going to La NASA.
Somebody did it for me, and then I said it was just one option in my advanced settings, but I had no idea that it was available to
That's the point. We don't have ideas sometimes where to push the button or click the button.
Yeah, that's the button that allows you to make it, but then you have to have something adjusted to Facebook.
Yeah, I imagine there
are other tips that I'm sure you need.
Make it work well.
If you want to, then you write to Isa, to me, or to Lidia Casalini. We were the ones in charge of that.
No, but I thought, Fabricio, I don't have time to do one for me. The idea was that to do something for our SIGers, those SIGers who want to do that, what to do. You understand what I mean?
Like a step-by-step guide, something like that.
Yeah, for the SIGers, perhaps.
Well, maybe a guide like that, it's something we should have to create together in one of our sessions.
I might be able to create a tutorial, post it on somewhere, and you
that'd be great.
Yes, you also mentioned that you liked very much what we did at the beginning. Remember, Fabricio, what you did? We collected all the information that SIGers had from different web tools, and many teachers found that useful. So maybe we can add something to that one, or I don't know, recycle that one.
Version 2. That's why I suggested carrying out the survey or some sort of research as to which were the top 5 tools that we have learned, that we found useful to our classes. I mean, create a very simple survey, send it out there to all the people we might get access to in Argentina, outside Argentina, whatever, and then analyze the data we have and create some sort of article, even a presentation for IATEFL or for what you're offering, Liliana, this space, if you're kindly offering for us to participate. But saying, okay, it's not what the SIG says, but it's what Argentine teachers, just to say something, have found. Okay, that's so great. These are the top 5. So I mean, it's not just a booklet with lots of suggestions, but okay, it's a kind of little bit more professional sort of work. And we can use that material for IATEFL, for the annual seminar, APIVA's annual seminar, if that happens in 2021. I mean, we can use the same material for different purposes, even to share in IATEFL, yeah?
That's a good idea, I agree.
Yes. We should start, I mean, creating the survey this year. I mean, and I also suggested working along the teacher research say. Well, Lydia knows, she's one of the coordinators from the research, so as to help us create a very good survey form to collect useful data.
I agree.
I think that's a good idea.
But I do believe what most of us are suggesting is, I mean, doing things to share with people outside the SIG. And that's what amazed me, because as a liaison officer, that's what I've been wanting to do for years. And I know that the executive committee wants that as well. I mean, not to leave the work that we do among the members of the SIG, but to share with the community. I mean, to show that we are professionals and we can lend helping hands to other people, whether they are members of APIVA or not.
Yeah, I think that's key.
Yes.
In the form of a webinar or whatever. But perhaps that makes us change a little bit our organization, because just dealing with a tool only once might not be enough. Yes, for example, I don't know, Gladys sharing a new app that she knows, and then we might need to go deeper into the tools and really commit to trying it out with our students, collecting information just to make a very good analysis and then share a couple of things.
May I suggest something? I don't know if it worked for many of us, but what I felt was when we had originally looked into escape rooms, I had made the session and I saw the recording and it was kind of, you know, not for me, not now. And I didn't go into it. And then when we went back to it, because that was a topic chosen for our presentation, I felt that helped us all go deeper into that. So maybe we could do something like that, like a combination, like we have this spontaneous sharing or kind of spontaneous, like this month we look into this month we look into that, and somebody has this idea. And then maybe after every 3 months, the 4th month is to choose one of the things we have mentioned and go deeper into that all together. Because that has given us the time. Somebody mentioned we need time to put things into practice. So maybe after 3 months, we can say, well, from all the things we've mentioned, this is the one that we are using the most. So let's go back to that and share what we have and explore deeper into it, and then make something out of that to share with others. I like that combination of spontaneity.
Excuse me, I think we had an informal chat after the session with the coordinators, and we mentioned exactly that we were discussing so many apps that it was interesting but impossible to try them out or to see if they were good or not, the pros, the cons. So I think that what you are suggesting now is in keeping with what we had discussed informally after the session.
Probably we have to
many things to
yes
from first.
Yes, probably we can after the presentation of the app, we can take the next meeting to create our own work with the app in breakout rooms in groups of 2 or 3 or 4, so that we can help each other, and then maybe have some minutes to create something there and in the moment of the meeting, something simple in breakout rooms, so that we can have the doubts, because many doubts crop up when you are using an app and you don't know who to ask.
I like that idea. Yeah, perhaps instead of a meeting, having like 3 different apps all together, we might have 1 or 2, yes, presentations of, I don't know, 20 minutes or something, and then devoting the rest of the session to creating breakout rooms or whatever, and start creating something for our own classes, so that then
exactly.
What I like about
the same session, perhaps a short explanation.
I like the fact of maybe the first half of the next meeting is for questions about what or exploring deeper into what we met presented the previous meeting.
So
and then
the idea,
something new.
all in all, the idea is to go back to the app, the site, or whatever. It's not just a presentation and never talking about it again. So then we decide if we do something online, if we go practice. Because what I find difficult, and I think I'm going to be honest, and I think it's something it might happen to you. Everything is fantastic, but then life comes, and we don't have time to explore, create, even though we all want to. So perhaps devoting somehow time of one session, another, or something to creating something together, or individually, whatever comes, it might be a very good way to explore and experience the
yes.
Something I think might work. I don't know. It's like what I felt. When you do something and say, "I wish we could do this." When we vote for the agenda for meeting, what if we had like the list of topics we discussed in the last 6 months or the previous year, and choose one that you want to go back to, because there were many tools that we mentioned. I just saw them. It happened to me with Genially the other day. I attended a webinar they were offering, and then I said it was too basic. But when we had done it, I missed most of it. It was like, and it went away. And
yes,
exactly. You go back to the tool that works. So maybe we vote for a tool from last year that you'd like to go back to explore deeper, and something new, like what's going on today. Because it's good to see what I would like that, and maybe divide the sessions.
Yeah, we learn by doing. Yeah, that's it. So it's yes, exactly. Yes, perhaps we can have, I don't know, in the same meeting, the first part, I don't know, 30 minutes, 20 minutes for presenting the tool if it's a new one, and then the other part, as you were saying, practicing. And but it's a good idea to take 1 or 2 or the ones that we consider again and explore them deeply. Yes.
Well, isn't that what we do when we present material to our students?
Yeah.
That is what
Look at us, we don't do it for ourselves.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, we present, then we have the practice, and I mean the same steps.
The same, yeah.
I used to remember in methods we used to talk about recycling.
Yes, drilling and all that.
We need recycling, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry, I am exploring the fantastic work that the Language Sig did on educational technology vocabulary, but excuse my ignorance, I cannot download it. It's in Canva. Can we
no, you cannot. You cannot download it. It's not downloadable.
No. It's to consult online.
Okay.
Because I tried to download it and then I realized that I couldn't.
I am a hogger. I need to have things in my computer.
Yes, me too.
You can screenshot it. You can take pictures.
Bookmark
I can.
Yeah,
I have to read you have the Creative Commons license there. I have to read that so that I'm not, cheating on my own people.
Well, Vivi, you might tell the creators to see if they might create a a version to be downloadable.
Well, this brings me to the point when I have to say goodbye because I have to join the language SIG. So,
okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let's have a picture before leaving. Let's have
in a couple of minutes.
Me too.
Okay.
I am also leaving.
Wait, before you leave.
Before you leave,
just 1 second.
Okay, we have to be beautiful.
Okay. Who can take the photo?
I can.
did it.
I'm using my phone, so I
At the
can.
count of 3. 1, 2, big smiles.
Hello.
They are.
Great.
Let me check that it's come out okay, and I let you know
Anyone
later.
here who is in the method 6? In the new method 6?
Yes, I'm joining just for half an hour.
Can you, because I sent an email immediately after our presentation asking them, whoever is in charge, I don't know, to the address they sent there, asking if they will go on. I suppose they are stopping now like we all are.
Yes.
But I wanted to know if next year you'll go on working online, because in that case, I'm definitely interested in joining you.
Yes.
If you want to go today, we can share the link.
I sent the email, but I got no reply. So I don't know if that reached them or what.
It's at 11. If you, we can share
Today
the
I'm
link.
meeting at 11.
Yes, if you have time and if you want, any of you.
Today it's a quiet day at home. I might join, at least to pop in and say, can I join you next year or something like that.
Oh, how nice. I teach at 11. Yeah.
I hoped.
So goodbye. I'm also leaving.
Bye. I hope
everyone.
next year the 6 don't overlap, because they are all interesting.
Yes.
It's true.
Love you all. Thank you so much for your
Bye.
generosity. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Thanks
Bibi.
to you.
Bye.
Good luck with that idea, Noe. It's quite impossible to get 6 not to overlap.
No, yes, it's quite impossible. We tried this year, but we couldn't. Well, today there are, I don't know how many, 3 or
today
3.
You have the literature SIG today as well now.
Language, EdTech, and in the afternoon, wellness.
Wellness.
4, 6.
The good thing about the lockdown is that you can change from meeting to meeting without commuting,
That's true.
traveling to.
Yes.
And the problem is, where is Lydia? Lydia has gone?
Yes, Lydia has left.
Yes.
She was talking, the same happened to me, but Fabrizio was talking about, what are you talking when they were talking about time management and assessment tools? I was a bit lost there. And these are 2 topics that I consider very important, and I will tell you why. The first unit that I teach is called Time Management at the University of Barcelona, because we want to help students how to manage their time.
I want that info, please.
Yeah, but it's just for learning English. Yes, it's language. It's for students, and I can see that the second. Then I will tell you why. The assessment tools that Lydia mentioned, I've been correcting since 2016, and it's really exhausting. And that university was born online, so I thought, well, they know everything. Yes, they know a lot. But time management, it's not that they teach time management, it's language, it's one of the units called time management, and we discuss about that, and we try to help students how to manage time when learning online, which is something difficult. But sometimes they do not consider the teacher side. We are all day long, Saturdays and Sundays, and correcting and being present and answering mails, and I've been doing that since 2016. I'm really exhausted because of that, and then this year with all this, it's a lot. I love doing that, but I think there must be something done as regards these 2 topics, and they go together, time management and assessment tools, because I thought, well, they might have assessment tools that are easy to use. No, they had some, they checked, they forget about it. They still do not use Moodle a lot, but they use some parts of the Moodle, and they continue with their old traditional platform. So I think it's great the job they do, they had to make a change this year also, because the classes are all online, but the final exam, what they call the PS, prueba de síntesis, that would be in their Spanish or Catalan, prueba de síntesis, it's face to face. They have to go to the regional, maybe in Madrid or Barcelona, different places in the world. They sit down, they pick up a pen and they write on a piece of paper. This year they had to change. They had to do it online. But they were, before the pandemic, they were doing that because there were people who couldn't go to different regionals. So they started creating a software with a camera. They didn't tell us much. Like with the camera, that the camera observes the student. And if the student makes a movement which is weird or strange, or maybe went to the bathroom, for example, or I don't know, someone appeared or something, the camera takes a photo. And when you receive the essay that we have to assess for the final exam, the photos are there and you have to see if there was something wrong or something, because they have a lot of students. They cannot have, how do you call them, vigilators? How is it? I never know the word.
Yes.
Yes. So that is something interesting, but they still are working on that. Artificial intelligence is something incredible, but for example, speech recognition has been present since 1990 or before that, and it's still not working that well. Yes. So there are many things that we have to continue investigating, and I think that these two topics, sorry that Lydia is not here, we'll tell her. Time management and assessment tools are things that are very important.
This, I have this little book, the memory jogger, time management, memory jogger, but it's office oriented. So there are a lot of things that you can take, but it's not, well, we need one teacher oriented.
Teacher oriented, because, and student oriented, because sometimes we ask a lot the students. Students work. They had COVID. You know, when I started this year, Europe was terrible, and especially Spain. So there were many students who could not submit on the deadlines, but of course we were flexible. They were flexible with me because I was not going through an interesting period in my life because of the faculty of La Plata, but that's another story. And they were really flexible with me too as a teacher. But we have the Argentinian mind that we have to do things in other ways, and we are sometimes forgetting about the human side. And Saturday and Sunday is for relaxing, do gardening, running, reading, doing whatever you want, being with your family, not sitting down and correcting. So I think that's a very interesting slot in the world that is not, I don't know, I have not read much about this, but I think it's a very interesting thing to do a research if you want to start with some kind of research, taking into account teachers, the teacher's role, yes, the difficulties that we have as teachers, and time management. Yes, that's just something that I didn't want to forget to share with you all.
Right, Lily.
Thank you, Lily. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So,
can
we?
About it.
I took notes of everything that we talk, and of course I recorded the meeting. So the today's meeting, the purpose was that, okay, to prepare for next year, and of course to say thank you and to talk about the 20 years event, and how was it, and well, we talk a lot about that, and well, that's, I think that it's all, we covered all the things that we,
the agenda.
Yeah, the agenda. And I want to share my screen because let me check something before that.
While you're doing that, Gary, can I say something else?
Yeah, please.
Something that many people found extremely valuable from the webinar that Gladys and Ceci did last time was the fact that they match or connected technology with Bloom's taxonomy. I think that was a key factor. And I think that that would be something that we started doing some years ago, but it would be something that to strengthen and to make sure that whenever we analyze an app and we start creating things, to pay attention to that.
Good.
Yes, that's great. Yeah.
Great, nice.
Okay.
I would like to say
that's
something.
why, sorry, in the methodology SIG, if you want to join 5 minutes today, we were talking about multimodality. It's very interesting.
Can you send the link?
topic is very interesting. Sorry?
The link to the method SIG, can you send it in the
I
WhatsApp
shared
group?
it in the chat or not?
Yes,
in the WhatsApp group.
In the WhatsApp
group.
I don't get it. It's in the WhatsApp group. I haven't got it. Okay, I'll check my phone. There must be a problem with my connection.
In the chat. Is in the chat, on the chat.
In the chat.
In the chat.
Prepositions are capricious.
Here it is. Here it is. Thank you.
Yes, Ceci, what are you going to say?
No, just a comment about time management. I have been obsessed with time management all my life. I have read many books.
Me too.
Yes. Because time is life. When you think about all the expressions that we have. For example, think of expressions in Spanish, in English. I don't have time to do this. It means I don't have life to do this. I am wasting time. I'm wasting life.
Necesito un día de 48 horas.
But if you replace time with the word life, you're going to be shocked by all the. So there are internal thieves and external thieves of our life, of our time, of our life. I gave a workshop, many workshops on time management to teachers at Santa Teresita School. Belén was one of the first. It was one of the first from the teacher's perspective, talking about burnout. And because for me, time is like the garden. You know, it's like preparing the garden. If you don't have time, you cannot plant any kind of seed. And I think that when you have a garden,
definitely.
It's preparing that. So even we may want to do yoga, but that's a seed, or mindfulness, or come to these seeds or whatever. But we have to make time, make life for those things. And I think it's a philosophical issue, of course, we know. And because of my continuous search for that, I have read a number of books, and even from the business world, Stephen Covey has been one of my greatest mentors. He talks about 7 habits of highly effective people, and those who work in companies know. There are 6 habits that have to do with personal development, 3. Another 3 with collaborative development, thinking about others. And the last one is about habit number 7 is sharpen the saw. It has to do with self-realization and self-fulfillment. And it has to do, and there is a story about a man chopping a tree with a blunt axe. I mean, trying to cut the tree with a blunt axe. And he's making a lot of effort, and another one says, hey, why don't you sharpen the axe and then you will cut it faster? He says, I can't, I'm so busy. You know, I don't have time to stop to sharpen it. And that's what happens to all of us. So I agree with the finding tools for that, or apps or whatever. I can help a little with what I've already done in terms of philosophical research for teachers.
Super, Ceci.
Ceci, can you write down the title of the book?
Yes,
and
I can send you a summary. Bueno, I have a whole experience with Stephen Covey. It's amazing.
It's God.
I worked with the Stephen Covey Foundation here in Argentina back in the days. And because I'm really fascinated by that. And now many people are talking about those habits like win-win, it's like they were start with the end in mind. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. There are many habits that help you to find a little bit, to develop as a person, I think. And this is all about personal development.
Yes.
But you cannot, personal development does not entail that you are going to be burnt out. I mean, and we are all, unfortunately, burnt out because we don't know how to manage all these things. But I can send you a summary of the book. It's just 7 pages, and or how many? No, 4 or 5. And then at the end, you have a survey that you can do to see how you're doing. I can put it in the chat.
Okay.
It's called, just to think about that. Maybe we can think about this during the summer and next year, 7 habits of highly effective people. Stephen Covey. There are videos, there are many things.
Thank you, Ceci.
Yes.
Perhaps we can start from there next year. I don't know. Perhaps could be like a kind of starting point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Read it or do it before the session.
Yes.
As homework.
It's
As homework, yes.
No time for
Yes.
The beginning is a bit shocking, though. Yeah.
Okay, Onida.
Okay.
We will try.
Well, yes. Interesting. Very interesting. So I'm going to share. This is the peak. Can you see? Can you see?
Not yet.
Okay, not yet.
No.
This is a picture that Fabrice has just shared.
Oh, lovely, lovely.
And this is our final message for you all. Yes.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you to you. You made our work easier because so sorry for the insistence that we made on you many times, but well, this is the result is a teamwork, and I was I have learned a lot this year, and well, that was a great year, regardless of the pandemic and all the things that you know. But well, I was super happy. So thank you to Isa, Noe, and Alice, and of course to all of you that you are the SIG. So thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you all the
Thank you all.
coordinators. All the coordinators.
No, thank you all.
Coordinators.
It has been a nice year.
A suggestion, you may carry out a survey or a Google form, whatever you want to about the SIG, about the singers, so that then you can use that material to post on APIVA's Facebook or SIG's Facebook or whatever you want to about all the great things we're going to say about the SIG and you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. Well, thank
Well,
you.
thank you. See
Thank
you
you
soon.
very much.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
Yes.
Happy New Year.
Holidays.
Bye.
Yes.
Miss you,
Bye
guys.
bye.
I will miss you. Yes, believe it or not, I will miss you.
Bye.
See you next year. Bye bye.
Bye bye. See you.
Bye.
Bye everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Okay.